Going on? What's going on? Yo, you got Next Level J in the house. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. Come to have a little bit of conversation with you, and just kind of let y'all know what's been going on. A lot of stuff been happening, and I wanted to take this time and come and get my talk on with y'all. Meanwhile, I'm about to fix me some coffee, I believe. I got some coffee. Make sure I did all that. Okay. About to fix me some coffee. The other day I was planning to do, get my exercise on. I don't know what was going on. I did hear several other YouTubers say that they had problems with their lives. It was like it was frozen or something. Like I did a screenshot and put it up there. I hate to have a plan for something and it don't come together. But that's what happened. Then yesterday, I said, well, maybe I'll just go and the day before yesterday, I said, well, maybe I'll just go and just do, what I plan to do for this day on that day. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Yesterday, I was like, man, I ain't even feel like doing nothing. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of things that I'm faced up against that's been kind of disappointing, and kind of got my spirits down a little bit. I'm trying to deal with everything. Most of y'all know, people that's been watching me for a while, y'all know that I deal with. Let me get this thing right here. All y'all hear is whining from this microwave. Most people know that I have vision problems. I talked about it in a couple of videos. The fact that I deal with what's up? The fact that I deal with some vision issues. Last year, around October, November, I had surgery done to both of my eyes separate times, but both of my eyes I had cataract surgery done on, and like I said before, like it was a lot because I felt like I was on the verge of blindness. That's how serious it was. But I had the cataract surgery and it was successful, and it got me my vision back. What's up? Welcome. It got me my vision back, but my vision is still not 100%. Like my vision will never be 100%. For the mere fact that when I was born, my eyes didn't develop all the way. So I would always have a certain percentage of vision. But I have been able to, throughout the years, I have been able to drive, work, and do other things. I have been successfly able to do that. Like I said, I mentioned before, like I even drove trash trucks. So I've been pretty good. And recently, this month here is the last month of my driver's license. And I was at the point where it's time for me to renew my license. Usually when I renew my license, I usually have to go to the eye doctors, get a form, get them to fill out my form, and take it to the DMV, and they're going and process it, and I'll go on with my license. But with the new rules, I have to get the form, but not only get the form, I have to be able to read a certain point down inside that machine that they have you look down in. I have to be able to see a certain point down in there. And that was my problem from the beginning. But in the beginning, that's all it required was for you to go get a form from your doctor, bring it back with whatever stipulations or whatever on it. You get your driver's license. Of course, after you pass the test or whatever, as far as the renewal, that's all you had to do. But shockingly, I found out that as long as I'm not able to see that certain line down inside that little thing that they have, then I won't be able to get my license. Unless they sent me to a low vision specialist. The low vision specialist, they tried me out for glasses. Now my eyes is like the strongest that they have been. My pressures, everything is good with my eyes, and they the strongest that they have been. But I can't. Well, I can wear glasses, but glasses is really not going to help me because my eyes are. I'm gonna put it this way: my eyes are excellent for my eyes. That's where I'm at. Whereas before, I needed a prescription to make them, good enough. So as of right now, the only way that I can be able to get my license, I have to get these specialty glasses. These glasses are. Let me go and put this cream in here, and I'm gonna tell you what they call. I can't remember what the name of them are, but they some kind of telescopic type glasses. And if I get those telescopic type glasses, I can be able to drive without restrictions. But of course, I think I will have to take like a driving test with those glasses, but I'll be able to drive. Now, I've been upset, man, because I'm used to driving. You know what I mean? I live in North Carolina. I have 2 daughters in Maryland, and a grandson in Maryland, and all of my family, really. I got 1 son here in North Carolina, and my mom, but everybody else live in Maryland. So from time to time, I would like to be able to go take a ride up there and go see my family. But now, they taking me off the road, so to speak, unless I'm able to come up with, get these glasses or whatever. Let me put you up here. I'm gonna shout y'all out in a minute. Let me see before I go on. I appreciate y'all coming in, man. It's good to see y'all. I know I haven't been up here, but I'm gonna be honest, man. I had the blues, man. I had the blues about this stuff. I know that everything happens for a reason. I'm gonna get my chair. I'm all off screen. Everything happens for a reason, and I try my best to be a great person of faith. Of course, even with faith, at times, you get worried, you have doubts, and you have sadness and stuff like that. That's the human. We're human. All right, let's see. It's a shame. I'm gonna get back to subject, but let me address this person that won attention on here. Let me give you a little bit of attention. What's your name, Joe? With the fake name and the what's that, the Nazi logo and all that. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not bothered by your ignorance. I'm not. I'm not bothered by your ignorance. But you know who is? Our Heavenly Father. When it's all said and done, you're going to have to answer for your actions. We're all going to have to answer for our actions. So the things that you do, now you come on my live with this, and this is the thing that I don't understand about YouTube. YouTube will shut your channel down for the simplest thing, but this type of racism is allowed to be spewed all over YouTube without any rules or regulations. Like, whatever, man. But listen, I'm going to pray for you, Joe, with the fake name. That's probably not even your name. I'm going to pray for you. And then that's going to be it for you. I'm talking some serious stuff. But to the rest of you, I appreciate you. But anyway, like I was saying, my spirit's been down, you know, because, you know, I really want to be able to be able to continue to drive. I never would have thought that it would come to this point where, you know, I'll be taking off the road. Right now, as it stands, I have up until July 1st. How ironic. July 1st is my birthday. And I got up to July 1st in order to get all of this stuff straightened out, which is not going to happen, because even if I'm going to tell y'all about the glasses, but even if I was able to accomplish the goal of the glasses, I'm still going to have to wait for the glasses to be made and processed and all that. That's going to take some weeks. I'm going to have to go back to the DMV, take the test all over again. There's no renewing. I'm going to have to take the test, the written, the driving. I'm going to have to do it all over again. So all of that's going to be a process, which, you know, I don't have no problem with that. I don't like it. I don't like it. But, you know, if I had to do it, if I got to do it, I got to do it, you know. So here's the thing. The glasses, the glasses are $3,900. Now, I done bought many glasses in my life, and I think the most I paid for glasses was probably like $500. $500. But when they told me about those glasses, I could have passed out. I could have passed out. I had a little chart in here, but I'm going to show y'all the place where I've been going. See if y'all can see it. And it might be backwards. This is a place that I have to, it's a low vision center that I have to go to in Wilmington, called a division of Paul Vision Institute. It's a low vision center of North Carolina. And these people specializes in situations like mine. There's plenty of people, and I was surprised to find that there are many people that have this type of issue that I have, and have to get those glasses like that. You know, it's when you beyond the point of regular glasses. Like, where's my glasses? I usually have my glasses around here somewhere, but it's beyond the point of, you know, just regular glasses. Like I can't see out of regular glasses anymore, because after the surgery, my eyes is more advanced than the glasses. When I was taking the eye test in my last appointment yesterday, they had me take the exam with my glasses, and to be honest, I was able to see more without the glasses. The glasses with the glasses on, it just was making things more blurry. without the glasses. And these is the last prescription glasses that I got before my surgery. Without the glasses, I was able to see more on the chart, but not enough um, at that doctor's office. Now, the doctor's office here, they clearly said that um, regular glasses is not going to do me no good, and that I have to get those telescopic glasses. Now, I tried to go to another doctor's office just to see if I can do things that way, and uh, they told me that you know legally they cannot authorize for me to even with the restrictions, they can't authorize me to be driving out on the road. So that was my plan B. Plan A failed, plan B failed, and the only other plan that's left is that I come up with this $3,900 for them glasses. And the reason why I tried the plan B, because I was trying my best to try to get this taken care of before my driver's license expire. My driver's license expired July the 1st. Like I said, on my birthday, July the 1st, my driver's license expired. So, with everything said and done, you know, um, you know, it has put me in a sad state, because, it's not just me. I have my mom, she depend on me to take her around. I have my girl here, she's in the process of kidney transplant. And, you know, once she actually goes through with the transplant, she's not going to be able to drive. She's depending on me to be able to drive her back and forwards while she, she got to go through the process of them coming in every day. So we're going to be in the area. We're probably going to have to get a hotel or whatever, because driving way from Charleston back here is not going to happen. So we'll have a hotel, but still, I'm gonna have to be licensed to be able to drive her back and forwards to the hospital as she getting checked after she have a transplant. So all of this, man, all of this stuff had me messed up, had me sad and depressed, and it's got me away from my exercises. I haven't been doing nothing. I kind of went back into my old ways. I got a little game in there. I just was playing the game and just haven't really been doing the things that I need to do. Um, I try to talk to people honestly. All of my life, I've been the type of person to try to help others, right? Especially young people. I've always tried to kind of give guidance and leadership to them that kind of help them in a positive direction. And I mentioned to y'all before that I've had people come back grown and, thank me for what I've done for them. And the thing is, what I did, it was out of love. It was out of care. A lot of us grew up in households with no father, and I know some people recently had something nasty and negative to say about that. But, it's not funny to not have your father in your life. That's not funny. That's not something, and it's not a black and white thing neither, because there are plenty of white fathers that are not in the house. Sometimes relationships just don't work. Everything could be good in the beginning and it just don't work. So, it's sad that kids have to deal with the parents, visiting one parent, living with the other parent is a sad thing, but it's something that happens. And it's not just a black people type thing, all around. So to anybody that's saying, that it is just something that we have to deal with, that's nonsense. But anyway, I just always try to be the type of person to try to help, young people along and try to give them encouragement and try to help them overcome by not making some of the mistakes that I made. You know, I do it with my kids and I do it with other kids. One of the reasons why I'm sitting here in the position that I'm in right now is because of mistakes that I've made growing up and, just being silly, and it wasn't like I had a couple of people and that came through in my life. I had some uncles that was kind of giving us guidance and stuff like that. So it was no excuses. It was no excuses for me not doing the right thing. It's just I was just being a knucklehead, you know, like a whole lot of other young people. So what I have done as an adult, as I try to turn myself around, is try to encourage other people so that they don't go down the same path, you know. And then also kind of try to teach people, listen, being a giver also it puts a target on your back. When you are an excessive giver, like I'm talking about, you ever heard the term a person give the shirt off their back? I'll give you the shirt off my back. Listen, there's a line. There's a line, or there should be a line with that. And me personally, I didn't know about this particular line until I was close to 40 years old. So meanwhile, I spent a lot of time being used, abused, taken advantage of. People take advantage of my kindness and stuff like that. And because of the way that I was raised, I was taught forgiveness. I was taught to love people regardless. I was taught to turn the cheek. If a man offended you, turn the cheek. You know, and I did that a lot of times. But one thing I try to encourage young people is, discernment. There's a word called discernment. I didn't know nothing about discernment until later in life. Discernment is something that you ask God for, and it gives you the ability to see people for who they really are. Even though they smile, you can see whether they real or fake. And throughout the years in my life, in my latter part of life, I began to see and realize this. But previous to that, I spent a lot of time in the clouds, I guess I should say, and even in situations knowing that I'm being used, but I just love people so much. I say, you know what? I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna pray for them. That was my mentality, and I'm not blaming nobody. Now, don't get me wrong. Listen, when you become 18, every decision that you make is on you, good or bad. Now, the thing about it is learning from your mistakes. That's how you get better, because you're going to make mistakes. It's learning from your mistakes. You don't keep putting yourself in the same situation over and over and over again. Even if you do have the mentality, well, I'm just going to pray for them. You don't keep putting yourself back in the same situation over and over again. If you want to be, get ahead in life. And that's something that I didn't really take heed to that. I really just kind of just let it happen, whatever happened. So, and I also was the type of person that lived for today. I live for today. Now, here's the thing about living for the day. When you're living for the day, you're not really considering what may happen tomorrow. I'm gonna give you an example. I had a job, good job, real good job. I'm talking about in my young years, like really good job, best job I ever had in my whole life. And I had in my mind that I'm not never leaving this job. Like, I love the job. The boss was cool. The pay was great. I ain't never leaving, right? So I'm thinking, this revenue was going to last forever. So I ain't got to worry about nothing. And a lot of times I would take money that was supposed to be for bills and this and that this week. Like, well, I ain't gonna worry about it this week. I get it on next pay. I'm gonna take this money. I'm just gonna splurge. We gonna have a good time. I did a lot of that in my younger years. And what happened was, what finally happened. It was a small company, but it was a very active company. What happened was the owner wound up passing away, and the wife, she didn't know nothing about the business, but I knew everything about the business. I knew it all because he taught me everything, right? But guess what? Because of my recklessness, I was not in a situation financially to take over that business and keep it afloat. So when the wife came to me first, offered me the opportunity to buy off the business, I wasted all of my money. And I didn't really know about bank loans and stuff like that back then. I didn't know nothing about none of that. So it was a big loss, a big blown opportunity. And on top of that, it was no more income. So guess what? Those things that I had put off to the next pay, they were still sitting there. There was no income to take care of it. So I found myself in hot water because I blew through everything that I have. So I try to teach this to young people. I know a lot of people, they want to get, fashions and the clothes and the nails and hair done. My daughters especially, nails, they love nails and hair done, and they gotta look cute and all that stuff like that. That's fine. But listen, I try to teach people, look, save, save, save. You got a good job, but nothing is promised. Nothing is promised. Even my son, I say, look, while you got this good job making this good money, save. Save. You don't want for an issue, for example, to come with your vehicle. Your vehicle go down, need to be fixed. But guess what? That vehicle is your source of income, is your way to work. You want to be able to say, okay, let me go on and throw this up in the shop real quick, grab this money out the bank, get it repaired, let me get back to work. That's the way you want to be. You don't want to be sitting there on the sideline, missing time from work. You don't have nowhere to get to work, or you got to try to bum a ride from somebody to work. Meanwhile, your vehicle is sitting. Then when you do get paid, you got to try to take your pay and then go and try to get your car fixed. That's more time, more days, more energy. I try to tell young people as much as I can to, be more responsible. It helps you more in the long run. And the best I can, I try to encourage people, because I made a lot of mistakes. As a young man and as a middle-aged man. I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of bad decisions, a lot of silly choices. And now, the last job that I worked, I ended up getting injured and winding up with a fractured back, and it sit me down. That's how I wound up gaining this weight. Like, I've always been, anybody that hasn't seen me for a while up north, if they see me now, they'd be shocked, because my whole entire life I was fit, 150 pounds tight. I stayed strong, 150 for years, most of my life. So when I injured myself and I stopped working, I stopped playing basketball, because that's something I used to do every day. I started blowing up, gaining weight. And it wasn't that I'm sitting around eating all day, because I wasn't. It's just my metabolism is operating a lot slower than what it was when I was actually out there actively working, playing basketball every day. It went from that to me sitting down, you know. So anyway, I know I'm talking about a whole bunch of different things. Today I just wanted to, well, at this point, I'm gonna try to do some exercises later on, but I really just wanted to kind of tell y'all, what's going on. I know I from time to time I get messages, people be looking for me, wondering, where I'm at, why I'm not out here getting my exercise on like I should be. But man, I'm gonna be honest. I'll be dealing with depression, trying to overcome that, trying to overcome, uh, the depression just with regular life, and then with this driver's license situation coming on top of it, man, it just really hit me hard. And I've told people like I have a therapist that I see, and even down to that, when I was younger, like I ain't believe in seeing no talking to no therapist or no psychiatrist or none of that. We used to be like, man, what they gonna teach you? Like they don't know nothing about you, where you from, what they just reading out of books. That's the mentality we have. But I'm gonna tell you, and I encourage my kids to this point. Look, y'all need to talk to somebody. Y'all need to talk to somebody. All of my kids been scarred from loss. My girls, their mom passed away and they still haven't got over it. They're still scarred behind it, And sometimes you know, family, you don't feel as comfortable talking with family. I guess family will be more biased. I don't know. When you talk to somebody that can give you tools that can help you get through those feelings that you're dealing with, like I found myself, it's been so much better for me. The exercises and the different challenges that they've given me to try to help me through, what I'm dealing with. Now, mind you, I did not go back to some of those steps that they taught me while I was dealing with this thing with my driver's license. I just sit and you know, I haven't seen my therapist in a couple of weeks. Um, I just trying to deal with it on my own. I haven't prayed. I usually try to pray every day. I haven't really done that a whole lot like I should. And I'm telling you, I'm talking to you because like this is real life stuff. Stuff happens. Stuff happens. But I'm gonna tell you the problem with doing what I have been doing is it opens up the door for the devil to try to bring in doubts and nonsense and anger and all of that nonsense that God don't want you to be a part of. It opens the door for that. So it's important to keep a good, strong prayer life. Number one, if you can see a therapist, I know everybody can't afford a therapist, but you going through some things that you haven't dealt with as a kid, as an adult, it's good to talk to somebody. You can't always talk to siblings, mothers, and fathers. It's good to have somebody that's going to not be biased to your situation, and can give you the tools, like I said. So, but I just wanted to let y'all know. So as of right now, um, I got a few more days left to drive. For now, but I'm determined that I'm gonna get myself, with the help of God, I'm gonna get myself back on the road. Um, you know, I'll figure out, how I'm gonna go about trying to do it, but I know in my heart that I'm going to be able to get myself back because it's too much on the line. Like I said, my mom, she depends on me. My girl, she depends on me. And, it ain't just like going around the corner to the store. Like it's, doctor's appointments and a whole lot of other stuff. So once I get my mind together, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna do it. Um, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna do it. But I just wanted to come and talk to y'all and just let y'all know what's been going on. Uh, I don't think I had an interaction with y'all in a couple of weeks. Now, I know on my other channel I was talking about some things that's going on in the world. Um, giving my 2 cents on that. But I really, honestly, as far as locking in on my channels, I haven't. I haven't. I've been slipping. So, but I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Hopefully, 6 o'clock, I can get back in here, do a little couple of exercise, and just kind of just try to work myself back in. And I got some prayer conversation stuff that I got going on later tonight. But I just wanted y'all to know that I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for coming and sitting in with me, and even through everything that I've been through, like everybody has stayed locked in with me, with my channel, with my journey. Um, I wish I can say that I've been consistent the whole time, because whether we realize it or not, especially us older folks, a lot of people look up to us. You know, um, like I said, I've had people to come in and watch my channel and get in with my exercises and stuff like that, and it kind of helped motivated them, to want to make some changes in their life, and knowing, I mean, you may not be able to do things like the young people, but you can do something, and that's my motto. Do something. So, and I have not been standing by my own motto. I have not been doing anything. I'm supposed to be doing something. If it ain't no more than walking, taking walks, but I'm not going to let the situation defeat me. I'm not going to let it continue to hold me down. I just wanted to come and touch base with y'all and let y'all know what was going on. I wish I could have showed y'all those glasses. I don't know what I did with the I don't know what I did with that paper. This ain't even the one. I don't know what I did with that paper. But on the paper, it actually showed the glasses. They some funny looking glasses. They some funny looking glasses, and they surely some expensive glasses. But I'm gonna tell you, I tried them things on, and I'm telling you, them things so good I almost could see through the wall. I was like, what? They had me to read the chart. Now, I'm gonna tell you, like I said, I always had vision problems. So it was always a certain point that I could read to on that chart, like no more than that. But when they had me to put those glasses on, man, I was able to read all the way down to the bottom line. I almost felt like Marlon on Senseless, where well, I don't know if y'all know about Senseless, but on Senseless, he was able to the was it the power that he was able to see very well, and he was able to see all the way down on the eye chart. Only in his case, he was even able to see a little great jelly stain on the bottom. That was funny. You got to see the movie to understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm gonna make it through this situation, y'all. I might be off the road for a little bit, but I believe in a higher power. I believe God is gonna open the doors for me to be able to do what I need to do. And some of these papers feel thick. I don't know. If I find it, I'll post it up and show y'all what I'm talking about. I probably left it at my mom's house when I was showing her. Anyway, that's all I got for now. I'm going here and bust these suds out and vacuum my floor. And as y'all can see, I don't know if I'm gonna save this for my workout. Anybody that know me with my workouts, like usually when my girl have her shipments come in, I usually make that part of my workout. And let's see, I got a few things right here that I gotta put up. Sorry about that with the finger. A few things that I gotta put up, and I may start my video out with that later on. So I'll be back at 6 o'clock, y'all. Try to get a little bit of exercise in there. I don't know. Now, I was so proud of myself. I got myself up to 50 sit-ups. Now, I ain't did nothing, so I don't know what I'm gonna be at when I come back at it again. But I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best, and I'm gonna do what I can. But I appreciate. Let me see. Some states you can do the written online. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't even respond to your statement here. Um, yeah, yeah. I saw that. I saw that. But I don't know. I gotta look and see. I gotta look and see if um if I can do that online. If I can do the written part online. But I mean, I'm very familiar with everything. I know a lot of people say that they go down there and fail, but I know when I did it, which it was years ago, I like it was nothing. It was a piece of cake. But I know that I'm gonna have to freshen up on everything. I know it's new rules and new laws, and just to I'm older now, just to get my memory right, because I don't want to go in there and fail and then have to wind up doing it again. I'm not trying to do that. It's going to be a one and done type thing. But I am going to look and see if I'm able to do that test over the phone, at least that part. And so anything that I can do that can cause me, less moving around or whatever. I already know the vision part. I'm not even going to be able to do nothing until I get them glasses. So um, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna look into that when that time come up. But anyway, I'm about to get on off of here. Listen, I'll be back at 6 o'clock. Is it 6 o'clock? Let me make sure. Is and you know what? I'm upset too, man, because listen, yeah, it's 6 o'clock. I'm upset because I was planning on trying to get my workout on just before the NBA draft. I got my label and stuff all my what's these thumbnails and stuff all ready. And then I tried to go get on and I couldn't even get on. It wouldn't even let me go on and do my live. I said, what is going on? So I went over to my other channel and I tried to get on, do my live over there. It was the same thing. I was not able to get on live until when I posted up that little clip showing y'all that what the status was saying as to why I couldn't get in the live or whatever. Shortly after that, then I was able to go into the live. I said, "What is this? What is this?" Had my thumbnails and stuff all ready. Shoot, I wanted to get my workout on before the NBA draft, and daggone thing and wound up acting silly. But anyway, that's all I got for now, and I appreciate y'all. Thanks a lot for coming in. Thank you for all your support. Um, I'm trying to work my way back, and I hope to see y'all on the next one. Um, as I always say, love, peace, and blessings to all of y'all. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. All right? Peace out. What's wrong with this thing? You know what? This thing done cut off. What's wrong with this? Now this is live now trying to, it didn't go on, and now they don't want me to go off. All right, y'all. I'm out of here now. I hope. It's trying to keep me in? Wow, the live is trying to keep me in. This got to be the craziest thing. Now, I couldn't get in the live. Now it's not trying to let me out the live. Wow.